March 4th, 1861. A day that will live forever in history. The inauguration of our fearless leader, Abraham Lincoln, along with the start of the end of slavery as we know it. I remember it as if it was yesterday.
Hello, my fellow Americans. I stand before you today with just one hope, one dream, to end slavery throughout the United States and to reduce sectional differences between our cultures. I promise to bring prosperity to the nation in my next 4 years. Thank you.
Extra, 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 extra. Would you like to hear the latest news?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
South Carolina secedes from the Union. Other states seem likely to follow. This is a bad sign. We need to settle our differences soon.
Extra, extra, more states are seceding from the Union.
Oh no! Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, Virginia, Arkansas, North Carolina, Tennessee. Oh my gosh, our union's been cut in half. They formed the Confederacy?
I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated states and parts of states are and henceforth shall be free.
July 1st, 1863. The worst battle of our war by far. Robert E. Lee's forces had taken to the strategy of the butcher, sacrificing thousands of troops in an effort to push farther northward. He eventually made it all the way to Gettysburg, where I was stationed at the time. Under the rule of William T. Sherman, I knew we would have to significantly outperform the Confederates due to Sherman's flawed war strategies. Nevertheless, the Union succeeded in our goal to stop the Confederates, creating what I believe to be the most important Union victory in the war.
Start walking.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war. testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here through the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States and leader of this great country, have formally recognized your great leadership and skill on the battlefield. With this stated, I am honored to appoint you the new leader of the Union Army. Signed, Abraham Lincoln.
A package for you, Mr. Grant.
Thank you. Wow. This is quite the accomplishment. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you very much. November 16th, 1864. With the finale of the Civil War comes perhaps the most destructive portion. In order to end the resistance of the Confederacy once and for all, I devised the March to the Sea campaign, creating mass destruction of the land in the South in order to force a surrender. With this rigorous campaign, our superior numbers and scorched earth plan scorched the earth all the way to the coastal Georgia, eventually causing Robert E. Lee's surrender at Appomattox Courthouse. The future of our country looked bright until the unthinkable happened.
Oh my God, Abe! Oh no!
Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
Extra. Extra.
Jeff, calm down. Oh my God.
We have to like allude to the news getting worse. So like Hans has to say extra, extra.
The news is getting worse.
No, we don't have to say that. Extra, extra.
that's my
This
joke.
week's even worse.
Look at this.
Okay.
Logan, what are you doing? Please film Hans and not me. Yeah.
Gold.
Say extra, extra. More states secede. We're gonna be. I know. Doesn't get paid.
I wish I was have to edit the video by
I wish I
Friday,
was, I had-
of which I am a pretty good editor.
Okay, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog.
Leader of this great country, and appointing you to
Wait,
be
stop.
the general of the proud army of